In this video I want to take a look at the part B to the 2012 higher level U-values question. It's the annual cost of heat loss, and this is a common type of question for part B. In part A, in another video, I showed how we went about calculating the U-value table, and the U-value is all important for this next part. So you can see the answer of the U-value is got there, and in part B of the question, here's the information that we're given, which we'll be referring back during the question. And I'm going to go through a series of steps which we need to do in order to calculate the heat loss, or the cost of heat loss for the year. So step one, we want to calculate what the rate of heat loss is. So there's a formula for that there. So we do out our rate of heat loss formula. And that is the U-value must be multiplied by the temperature difference, and multiplied by the area. So U-value by temperature difference multiplied by the area. So in the question you can see here we have two temperatures of 20 degrees, an average internal temperature of 20 degrees, and average external of 5. So we take that away and it gives us a figure of 15. Not important to have the unit of measurement here in it, it's really just the figure that we need. And the area is 9 meters multiplied by 7 meters, which gives us 63 meters squared. And again, the unit of measurement is really not that terribly important because it's the figures that we want to use. So having calculated our U-value from the part A, we put it in, enter all these figures we have now, the 15 for the temperature difference and the 63 for the area, and multiply this out. And what this is going to get us is the number of, or what the watts or the joules per second for that period is, or for that, not for the period, but for the U-value, temperature difference and area. So that gives us our watts or joules per second. Our step two is where we want to calculate what the heating period is in seconds, because our last value there is seconds. We want to calculate how many seconds are actually in the whole heating period, whatever it is. It could be an annual, it could be just a period of time. So what we want to start out with is seconds. The number of seconds obviously is 60 seconds. We have 60 minutes multiplied by 60 minutes. The number of hours given in the question is 12 hours. And we have 7 days of the week. And there's 40 weeks. So that's the start point for calculating the heating period in seconds. And you can see the values, or the values are given here in the question. We multiply that out and it gives us a huge figure of 12,096,000 seconds. Now the next step after this here is kind of really two steps, but I suppose there's only one step, but there's two. It's kind of, you could divide it into two if you want. It's the joules per heating period, joules per second multiplied by the total seconds. So our first two values basically that we're after getting are joules per second and our number of seconds, and we're going to multiply those together to get us how many joules per second for the year, the joules per year. So taking the first value of the joules per second and multiplying it by the number of seconds that we have, it's going to give us a huge figure here. And what we can do with this figure as well then, because it's divided into 3 and 4, step 3 and 4, that's the first part. The second part is where we change it from joules into kilojoules. So just by dividing by 1,000 or moving our decimal place by 3, it's going to give us 8,047,226.88. So just recap on the points again. 1 is the rate of heat loss formula, you apply that. 2 is the heating period in seconds, and then with step 3, 4 is where we take our joules per heating period and we convert it into kilojoules. And the reason we convert it into kilojoules is because we're given a value for oil in this case as to how many kilojoules 1 litre of oil will actually burn. So we're looking at litres per year is what we're looking for, or for the period of time. So the calorific value of oil is 37,350 kilojoules. So by taking that and dividing that into the figure that we got for the heating period, the joules per the heating period in the last step, I'm dividing 37,350 into that. This will tell us how many litres of oil are actually used for that heating period. That works out to be 215.45 litres. And the very last part that we need to work out is a real simple one. We're given the cost per litre. So we want to work out what it's going to cost us. We know now that we use 215.45 litres for that heating period. So at a cost of 85 cents per litre, all we've got to do is multiply our number of litres by 0.85 to get us our euros in it. So 215.45 multiplied by 0.85, and this will give us our cost of our heat loss, the cost of the lost heat per year. So by sticking to each of our six steps, our rate of heat loss formula, our heating period in seconds, converting the joules per heating period, converting it into kilojoules, finding out the number of litres by dividing it by the kilojoules per litre of oil, and then multiplying the cost by the number of litres. So 6 steps to getting the part B of the heat loss, annual heat loss, or the heat loss per period.